Yeah. Okay. So good morning, everyone. Connected on LinkedIn Live. So a warm welcome to you all to today's session from Manual to Magical, Ignite Your Automation with Ansible. We are thrilled to have you all join us as we explore how automation can simplify complex IT operations and drive greater efficiency in modern infrastructure management. So, leading today's session is Ms. Richa Arora, a seasoned technology trainer with over a decade of experience delivering impactful learning across top IT organizations, including some like Oracle, HCL, Accenture, Wipro, and Dell. So, Richa brings deep expertise in DevOps, cloud infrastructure, and application integration with hands-on mastery of tools such as Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, Git, and of course, Ansible. Her sessions are known for blending real world projects with practical insights, helping professionals translate concepts into applied skills that create real business impact. So, this webinar is brought to you by Skillemme, an organization committed to empowering professionals and enterprises through transformative learning experiences that bridge emerging technologies, leadership, and behavioral capabilities. So sit back, take notes, and get ready to discover how Ansible can take your automation from manual to magical. Over to you, Richa.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Patil. Hello, everyone. Good morning. I hope I am audible to all of you who has joined. A very warm welcome to you all who has joined this session, and it's a pleasure to have you here today. So about this webinar, in today's session, we'll understand how automation is transferring IT operations and how Ansible makes it simple to manage systems efficiently. And we will explore why configuration management is important and how Ansible works behind the scenes and we'll also see a live demo of its power through simple examples. Okay, so by the end of this webinar, you will know how Ansible helps save time, reduce manual errors, and make your IT workflows more reliable and scalable as well. Okay, let's start it. Let me share my screen. Let me now share my screen. I just take a few seconds. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Richa.
Okay. So let's start with Ansible scripting basics. So this will be our agenda for today's session. Let's go quickly through our agenda so you know what to expect here. We'll start by understanding the challenges in IT infrastructure management and why automation is necessary. Then we will discuss how configuration management helps maintain consistency in IT environments. Next, we'll introduce Ansible. Has my screen stopped?
It's visible.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll start by understanding the challenges, and next we'll introduce Ansible, and we will explain its key principles and architecture. And then once all it's done, we'll move on to some hands-on demonstration. Okay, we will write some playbooks and execute those playbooks. Let's begin with the common IT problem here. The first thing is why we needed Ansible. That is manual infrastructure management. So, imagine you are managing hundreds of servers, application, and networks, right? So how do you ensure everything stays up to date, secure, and consistent? Okay, let's take a real world scenario here. Like a company with 100 plus servers needs software updates, configurations, and security patches. So doing this manually is very time consuming and error prone. A single missed configuration can lead to security risks or downtime. Even a skilled admins makes mistakes. Okay, they can misconfigure the files or they have some missing updates that causes the system failures at the end. So managing a few servers manually might be fine, but as infrastructure grows, manual methods don't scale. A simple security update applied manually to 100 plus servers could take days, but with automation, it can be applied to all in few minutes. So this is where configuration management tools like Ansible comes in, right? So they automate IT configuration, application deployment, and infrastructure orchestration. So instead of relying on the manual steps or memory, these tools ensure every system is consistently set up with and maintained. Can even think of it like a recipe, whether you make one dish or 100, the steps remains the same, right? So what it brings you consistency, it brings you the faster recovery. Okay, it brings you the version control. So let's take a look on some configuration management tools here. Okay, now that we have understand why configuration management is essential, the next question is which tool we use. So these are the tools. There are many options, but these are the four most popular and popular ones, and these are Ansible, Puppet, Salt, Stack, and Chef. So each automates IT infrastructure but differs in complexity and ease of use. And if we talk about this Ansible specifically here, this Ansible. So Ansible is known for being simple and agentless. Agentless, we'll discuss it later on, the concept. But yes, it is agentless. That means in a very simple way, it doesn't require any software to install on a managing node. I will discuss that later on in detail, yes. But it uses SSH to connect to machines, so there is no need to install additional software on any of the server Ansible managing. So it follows a human readable, the language that is YAML based approach, making it easier for the beginners to learn and implement. And if you talk about the Puppet, Puppet is basically meant for the build, it's meant for enterprises, big enterprises, and it requires to install an agent on the servers it handles. And if you talk about this Salt Stack here, Salt Stack is great for real-time automation at scale. It is written in Python and is known for its speed. And thanks to an event-driven architecture of this Salt Stack. And the next is Chef. Chef is infrastructure as a code kind of a language. It is also helpful in writing configuration for the infrastructure, but it uses Ruby based scripts. And Ruby based scripts means you have to have some steep learning curve for Ruby. You have to go through that. So why we focus on Ansible, like each tool has its own strengths, but Ansible stand out because of its simplicity and ease of use. Okay, it doesn't require agents, it is lightweight. Okay, let's know in detail about the Ansible with some real case. Like imagine having a universe remote control that can manage all your server at once. That is exactly what Ansible does, right? So Ansible is a tool that helps you automate tasks like configuration of servers, deploying an application, and managing the infrastructure. So it works. How it works? It works by connecting to remote machines over SSH and executing predefined instructions written in some script, which is written in YAML format that is called playbooks. So we have talked about SSH secure, secure layer. will transfer the data over SSH, means we transfer the data over secure shell. So SSH it's a secure way to connect to and communicate with another computer over a network, right? So what it does, it allows you to log into remote servers, run commands, and even transfer files safely, all in an encrypted form, so no one can read the data being exchanged. So you can think of SSH as a secure remote control of servers. So what Ansible uses this kind of a secure shell to connect to machines. What machines? Managed nodes. We call it managed nodes that Ansible is managing over the remote. That it needs to configure, managed node is what the machine that it needs to configure or control. So when you run Ansible code from your control node, the machine where it is installed, which is called control node here. So when you run Ansible playbook from your control node, it uses SSH to connect to the targeted servers. And it also runs the required commands, which is written in the scripts. And you're good to go. There's no need to install any other software on the remote machines or on the targeted servers. Only the node which is residing, which is a control node where Ansible is residing, only on that node we need to install Ansible. Okay, you can connect from your system if you are having Ansible installed to another system which is not having Ansible. Okay, but you can connect to it with the help of SSH authentication. Okay, so why we use Ansible? Because it uses, it's a agentless. First, its syntax is simple. You can write script in YAML format, which is very much easy to write. Okay. Also, whether you are managing 5 servers or 5,000 servers, Ansible handles them all using the same simple approach. For example, a company using Ansible for 10 servers today, you can use the same playbooks for, playbooks means what? The scripts. Okay, the scripts for 1,000 servers tomorrow. So why we require Ansible now? We use it for IT automation, like manually managing multiple server is slow and error prone. So we use Ansible for that. Like, for example, you can take here, like restarting a services on 100 servers with a single command. You need not to go to any single computers to start a service. And if you talk about this configuration management here, the example could be like you can apply the same security settings to every server automatically from this Ansible code. Okay, once you write the Ansible code, the script, you can run it on multiple server at once. Then we have automatic deployment. What it means? It means launch a web page or a web app on multiple servers using one playbook. That is what we can call automatic deployment. Okay, you can deploy applications efficiently without manually doing anything. So that's why we require Ansible. So this is how the environment of the Ansible looks like. Before we start using Ansible, let's first understand how its environment is structured. So Ansible follows a simple and efficient architecture with two main components, that is control node and managed nodes. Or you can also say it as a targeted nodes. Targeted nodes, and it's the main node. Okay, so the control node here is where Ansible is installed. And this is where you can write and execute playbooks, means scripts. And those scripts are written in YAML language. Remember that. And also, it also contains this inventory file. Inventory file is the file that defines which hosts or group of hosts Ansible will manage. And it also organizes machines into groups to the targeted automation. Means you need to give the IP addresses of those machines into this inventory file, and that's how Ansible will know on which targeted machines the script has to run. And what this managed nodes are? These are the servers, cloud instances, or network devices that Ansible configures. So here you need not to install Ansible. Okay, you need not to install any agent or Ansible or any kind of a software that Ansible, uses. So Ansible connects to them using SSH. Some here between SSH connects it. Okay, for example, if you have 3 web servers and 2 database servers, they all are considered as the managed nodes for the Ansible. So kindly note here for this demonstration, for the demonstration purposes, Ubuntu is already installed on my local system using WSL, that is Windows Subsystem Linux. And within this environment, within this Ubuntu environment, Ansible has been successfully installed and configured. So this WSL environment will this allow me to use my local, web system Linux Ubuntu as a Ansible control node. Okay, if I show you the version here, the Ansible is already installed and configured. Okay, so here now my system is using is acting as a control node. I am having Ansible installed in my system, Ubuntu and Ansible installed in my system. Okay, but now we need SSH to create a connection, and the other thing we need is targeted node. So 3 things are required here. That is first control node, then SSH, then targeted node. Here we have Ansible installed on my system, and then we have to generate the SSH keys on Ubuntu. Okay, so this is how you can generate SSH keys on Ubuntu. Why we are generating this? Because it is required to talk to the remote instances which will be residing on a cloud. Like we will be using Oracle Cloud instance in this demo. So I will show you the how you can create instance on OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. But here for now, the control node is my system. Okay, and this is how you can generate the SSH keys. First of all, you need to create a directory here in the home and then with the help of this SSH key generation, this is a command used to generate the pair of SSH keys. Pair means public and private key for the secure authentication. Okay, so public key will be given to the managed node and private key remains in the system where Ansible is installed. Okay. So when we create the instance on any cloud or any other system, like in any server, in that we need to supply the public key. Okay, and private key remains in our system, own system. So here you can see SSH key generation, then you need to pass some paraphrase. I haven't given here. So it has generated this. This is a public key and this is a private key. Okay, it is having the name of the key is same, but it is having .pub extension, means it's a public key, and this is a private key. We will be requiring this public key when we create instance on Oracle Cloud, for example. Okay, so this is how you can generate SSH keys. So now there are two things are accomplished, like you have a control node with Ansible installed, and then you have SSH keys. Then you have generated SSH keys now. Now you have to create a instance on OCI. Instance means you need to create a virtual machine or a machine on Oracle Cloud instance, like we are using here. Okay, just need to reload it. It will take a bit. So let's move to the compute instance. Let me just reboot it. It's a paid account, Oracle Cloud. It's a paid account. Okay. It will take a bit. So this is how you can create instance on OCI. Instance is what? The kind of a virtual machine on internet that will be acting as a managed node for our example. Okay. So you go to the compute and then you go to create instance and then you select the image of operating system. You can select any. I have selected Ubuntu here. And you can give other specification. You can browse the shapes and all. And here, when there's a column of adding SSH keys, you can go to that particular directory where that particular public key has generated, and you need to copy this key to here. Okay, that's how you are authenticating your instance. This managed, you are authenticating SSH, authenticating the movement of the scripts or anything configuration and all. Okay, so this is Ansible and this is SSH and this is the target node. This here we are specifying the public key for, sorry, it's not working. So here we are specifying the public key. So that's how this instance manager node 1 is connecting to what? The control node, which is residing in our system. Okay. Let's see if it has done. Okay, let me take a moment. I have to, authenticate it. So now it's done. So it's my Oracle paid account. Okay, here we have created the instance. How you can create it? You need to go to the compute and then you have to create instance here. You need to select some options. It's like a wizard. So the basic thing is you need to give the, some SSH keys. Okay. If you go here in this part, you need to select the paste public key here and you need to paste the public key. You can select the paste public key here and paste it over here. This is how you are connecting your Ansible to targeted node, which is on a Oracle Cloud. Its name is managed node 1. Okay, move to back. So it's already created here. It takes a bit when we create this. So I have already created the one. So managed IP address, the IP address of this managed node is 129.213.36.10. So we will be requiring this for creating a connection straight away from our end control node to the targeted node. Okay, so how we can see that Ansible is connected to our control node? You can do SSH -I. That's a command. Okay, that will allow you to go to the targeted node. Specify here the name of the public key, sorry, private key, and the instance, and the IP address of the instance that you have created. The instance which is created here is 129.213.36.10. So here you can see that we are connected to the manager node now, right? So initially we were in the Ansible, but now by doing SSH, we can connect to the manager node straight away from our Ansible control node. Let's just exit. So let's log out this managed node. Okay, now we are again in our control node. So that's how you can create a connection between your Ansible to targeted node. Okay, we have one targeted node. You can build any number of targeted node. Okay. So back to here. Sorry. Okay, we were there. This is we have done like connecting to manager node from control node. How we can connect it after doing SSH, we can do that. So now for creating a playbook, you need to have Ansible install and inventory file. Ansible we have installed. Now we need to have inventory file. These are the two things that we require, Ansible and inventory. What this inventory file is, so in Ansible, inventory file is a file that tells Ansible where to connect and which machines to manage. So it lists all the servers that Ansible will control. Okay, think of it as a phone book where each entry system is a system Ansible can talk to. So before we tell Ansible what task to perform, how does Ansible know which servers to manage? Onto which servers Ansible has to perform task. For that, you need to create an inventory file. Okay. So it's a simple text file that lists the servers and that the Ansible will control. Okay. It defines the list of all those machines. So this is how an inventory looks like. Okay. Just like you save phone numbers in a group like family, friends, or work, we can organize servers into groups such as web servers and DB servers, that is database servers. So basically, there are two ways to write an Ansible inventory. That is, first is INI format. Sorry, INI format, that is initial format. It's the first way The first way, it's a first way using it's a basic text file similar to how we create lists. This is called INI format. INI means initial type of a format. Here we have specified the two web servers and three database servers here. Okay. And the second way to write inventory is in a YAML format. Okay, so it is the writing like in an initial format or INI format is quite simple. But if you require if you have some complex environment, you can use YAML format. Okay, which is more structured and allows additional details like IP addresses and all. If you have three servers with the specific their IP addresses, we can define them like this, like my host and this. Okay, this format is easier to understand and organize even. So also it is good for large networks where we need detailed kind of configurations. So once we have inventory ready, Ansible can read it and execute the task on the list of the servers inventory has. Okay. So now, next thing is Playbook. Playbook is what? Where all the scripts are written. Okay. All the scripts are written. In what? In YAML format. So a playbook is a set of instructions written in a YAML format. What the playbook does, it tells Ansible what tasks to run on which machines. It's like a, mm, it's like a recipe that a chef follows to cook a dish. So instead of running multiple commands, we put everything in a single playbook and run it at all at once on targeted machines. Okay. So how Ansible executes the playbook? An Ansible executes line by line from top to bottom, and each task inside the play runs in a sequence before moving on to the next one. So if a playbook contains multiple plays, it can orchestrate complex workflows, applying configurations to web server first, then handling database next, and then finally configuring the network devices. So it move in sequence. Okay, but each play in a playbook must define two things. The one is targeted nodes, like this tells Ansible where to run the tasks, and also tasks to execute. Of course, Ansible, if you want to run something on a node, on a targeted nodes, on a servers, you need to mention the task. So playbook contains the script to be executed on the servers or on the remote machines or the targeted machines or the managed nodes. Okay, so here in small example, we are saying that you need to install Nginx on particular web servers. What the web servers is? The web servers, there can be many web servers, right? The list of the web servers lies in an inventory file. Okay, so the host will take the entries from the inventory file, and what it does, it will install Nginx. Okay, and the name of that particular command is Nginx. Present means it will allow you to run on command, like that's how it will run. Okay, not only specifying the Nginx will do the thing. You need to uh, give the state as present. That will let you download or install on Nginx on these kind of list of the servers, which is in a inventory file. So it will run in a sequence. So now what you have control node. You have Ansible, you have targeted node, you have SSH, you have inventory file, you have script, that is playbook. So now what is required here? You need to execute the playbook. For executing the playbook, you need to write it as Ansible playbook -I. You need to specify the inventory file here that will specify the list of hosts you need to manage. And playbook is having tasks. So these are tasks are performed basically on host like this. Okay, so the list of the task is performed on hosts. So let's take an example here. So let me show you the screen here. It's my control node. Okay. In directory demo 2, we have inventory file and playbook. Ansible is already installed. Okay. Let's see how we have written inventory file. All means what? Whatever is in the list, you have the task will perform on all the list of the servers. Like if it is one, if it is on 10 lines, then the task which are written in the playbook will be performed on all of those hosts. Okay, here you need to specify the private key. Remember, while creating an instance, you give the public key for authentication. And in here in your system where Ansible is installed, you are giving the private key so that this private key and public key both collaboratively, works for the tasks. So let's um, this is an inventory file, and let's take a look on playbook.yaml. Remember, you can note here, I have written inventory file in .ini format. And in the playbook, for the playbook, we have used YAML. And this is a code that we have written in YAML, right? So what it is doing, so Ansible, connects via SSH to your managed node. That is one thing. After that, here the playbook name is install Nginx and start service and hosts all. That means that it runs on all servers listed in Ansible inventory. As of now, we have only one host. Become yes means it runs the command with the sudo privileges, that is admin privileges. Yeah, because we need to install something on different computers, right, with the Ansible. So you need to have admin privileges. So to have that admin privileges, you need to provide become is equal to colon yes. It will give you the sudo privileges, or what we say, sudo privileges or admin privileges to install something on a targeted nodes. And these are the tasks. This is the task area. What this means, it means you have to install Nginx, okay? And state present ensures Nginx is installed and present. And update cache, yes, means it refreshes the package list before installing. Right? Package list is what all of the other packages that is helpful in supporting running other applications. Then after installing Nginx, you need to start it. Okay, for that, it's a separate task. After installing, start that Nginx. Okay, the state is now started. Now we have to run it, right? So how you can run it? With the command Ansible Playbook -I, which we have just read in previous slide. And now you have to specify the inventory file. From here, it can take the lists of the servers it has to manage. And then you need to specify the name of the playbook that you have, in which you have wrote that script. If you run that, you can see that it is installing Nginx, and it is gathering the facts. It will take a bit. This OK means it is now connected to that targeted nodes whose IP address was 129.213.36.10. That was the IP address, if you have remember. Okay, so means the task installing Nginx is done, which is specifying by its green color, and it has also started Nginx, right? On what? This on this IP address, Nginx is installed and started. So this is how you can install a software on the targeted machines. Let's see whether it has installed and started. Let's see. For that, you need to log into the targeted node from your control node. Let's do SSH. Give the private key. With the IP address 29.213.36.10. Press enter, and then you can see now you are logged in as manager. No, let me clear this. And here you can check Nginx version. Okay, if it is installed and running on the targeted node, which is manager node 1, you can see that how you can see the version of it, right? So it's the only way to verify. So here you can see that Nginx is installed with the version 1.18, right? So what it means, when you have when you have started that playbook and targeted that node, it has installed Nginx and started that service. Okay, so that is already done. We have seen that in demo, that how we can run a playbook, and we have also verified the result that yeah, it is installed. Now come on to the best practices of Ansible. First, always keep your inventory file and SSH setup organized, because they are the foundation for connecting to managed nodes. And also write clear and well indented YAML playbook so that anyone can read and understand your automation easily. And second, and the third best thing is like you can use simple and meaningful task name that make your playbook output easy to follow during execution. And when installing software or managing service, always test your playbooks on one test server first before applying it on all. Okay. So we had only one host, so we have checked that. But if you have 50 servers or 1,000 servers, you can use this same playbook for those 50 servers and 1,000 servers. Okay. If you want to install Nginx and start the service of Nginx on 50 servers, you can use this kind of this small script to all of those servers at once, and it will get installed like this. Like this we have done in the previous example. And keep your files and folders in based on the purpose. For example, you can separate your inventory, playbooks, and key files. Like we have created a directory and then we have placed the inventory file and playbook, so that they will not get merged to itself. Okay. And you can reuse the playbooks for the future automation task. And let's talk about some real world use cases of Ansible. So, in real life, Ansible is used by IT teams to save time and reduce mistakes while managing servers. So, it helps automate daily tasks like installing software, setting up servers, updating servers. So, companies use Ansible to automatically create cloud servers on platform like AWS, Azure, or Oracle clouds, and to configure them instantly. It is also used to manage network devices like routers, switches, and even to handle security tasks such as what we say that patching, or you can apply firewall rules as well. Even developers and DevOps engineers use Ansible to deploy their applications quickly, making sure every environment like testing, staging, production is exactly the same. It can also automate container management even in Docker and Kubernetes. So overall, Ansible is used everywhere and used by any team who needs to perform repetitive tasks. Okay, that reduces their time eventually and reduce the manual work of their team. So to conclude, we started by understanding why automation is essential and how Ansible simplifies IT management. We explored the architecture, key components like playbooks, inventories, um, SSH. We saw real-time demo that it how it works. So these are the fundamentals, and you can start automating tasks efficiently. Okay. So, but in some cases, if you take a look on the other side of Ansible, like when Ansible is not the best choice, like Ansible is the best choice for beginners to understanding the concepts and all, but sometimes you require some deployments for the very large scale deployments. In that case, Ansible is cannot be a better choice. Okay. You can have in those cases, you if you have some limited Windows support, um, in that cases, maybe you can use Salt, Stack, or Chef for the large enterprises or for the complex environments, like we have discussed in before. But for the starting, for the beginner friendly, for understanding the concept, for understanding the configuration management from the scratch, Ansible is the best tool, and it is widely being used by the cloud engineers and DevOps engineers nowadays. Okay. So that's all about the Ansible, where we have covered what the Ansible is and some its fundamental structure, their best practices, and a hands-on. Thank you guys. And if you
Yeah.
have, yeah,
Go ahead, Richa. Sorry.
okay. Can I stop sharing my screen?
Sure.
Okay, if you have any questions, you can share in the chat box, and even you can ask.
Done. We'll do that. If we have any questions, I'll share it with you, Richa. So thank you everyone for being part of this insightful session on Ansible. So we hope today's discussion inspired you to explore new ways of driving automation and efficiency in your own environments. A big thank you to expert Ms. Richa Arora for sharing her valuable knowledge and real-world experiences. So we encourage you to continue your learning journey, stay curious, and keep building future-ready skills. Do stay connected with us for more expert-led sessions and learning experiences, and follow us on LinkedIn. So thank you once again and have a wonderful day ahead. So.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who's